there are some people who fall into the trap of saying everybody cannot be your customer. It's not possible. Even if what you sell is water, I've had this conversation many times. Even if what you sell is water, there's a reason why you have different formats of water. You have sachet water, you have bottled water, you have the one that's called the water coolers, the dispenser water, right? There are different formats of water, and that's because of the kinds of customers who buy the water, right? So most products will have an ideal customer profile depending on what it is you want to sell. So the more you are clear about who your target customer is, the less money you will waste on marketing, on trying to market to people to buy your product. So take two businesses. One business knows the kind of people who buy their products. They have a good understanding of the needs of their target customers, when they buy their products, how they think before they buy their products, and the factors that they consider before they buy their products. This customer knows that. This business knows that. The second business just has money, and they feel that if they can market enough, if they can give money to influencers, advertise on radio and TV, they will get customers. So what the second business is doing is equivalent to you are sieving for grain, but you have to go through a lot of chaff before you find the grain. And when you are spending money to get the attention of people, any money you spend on people who are not relevant to your business or your products or services is wasted money. Why go through that waste when you can, even before you start spending money on marketing, you can be much more deliberate and targeted about the kind of person you want, the kind of person who buys from you. So if I use several different examples, let's say you sell smartphones, and there are different kinds of smartphones. There are very affordable smartphones. Then there are the high-end smartphones, the Samsungs and the iPhones, right? If you sell smartphones, what kind of person typically buys the kind of phones that you sell? Are they typically men or women? Of what age range are they? What kind of professions typically? Are they self-employed people? Are they corporate type people? Are they students, right? Where do they typically come from? What kinds of neighborhoods? What part of your city do they come from, right? Why are they buying the phone? Why do they buy the phone? Is it usually as a replacement for an older smartphone, or is it a first time? Is this their first smartphone ever? Is this the first time? So there are important things you need to know about the people who buy your products or services, because the goal of your marketing, particularly when you're marketing on a budget, is to target more people like those people who are buying from you now. The goal of marketing on a budget is to target more people who look like the kind of customers, the kind of people who resonate with what you sell, for whom your products and services are much more relevant, right? So I remember, I think it was a quote by, I think it was one of the former US presidents, Abraham Lincoln or something. He says, if I have 10 hours to cut down a tree, I will spend 6 hours sharpening my axe. That's the equivalent of what I just told you now. When most people are thinking of marketing, they just want, what do I need to do? What are the strategies? What are the latest tactics? And right, they are focused on a lot of the strategy. So, but that whole thing about taking the time to sharpen your axe first, even if you have 10 hours to cut down a tree, even if you spend 6 hours sharpening your axe, guess what will happen? The remaining time you have to cut down that tree will be far less stressful and much more effective, because you are working with a tool that is much more refined, much more sharpened. It's the same thing with when you are clear about who you are targeting, who your ideal customer profile is. You will save a lot of time, stress, worry, and money that you would have lost just targeting everybody. But if you know the kinds of people you are targeting, you'll be much more surgical about your marketing, and you will end up spending money that is relevant, because any money you spend on marketing that is tuned into the kind of customers you want to target, the return on investment is usually higher, because what it means is that most times you're more likely going to hit than you will miss, compared to somebody who has a scattergun approach of just trying to appeal to everybody, right? If you're interested in learning more about the topics I offer when it comes to starting, building, and growing a business, this is your opportunity to join my community. It's known as the BMG. I provide extensive courses on different topics and challenges that afflict business owners, from how to optimize your profits, how to manage costs, how to boost your sales, how to develop processes, how to scale your business. There's a whole lot that I can teach you. If you want to go deeper into my content, this is your chance. Go to the link on your screen right now, jointhebmg.com.